Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. Today I will talk to you about 10 traits in women that men are obsessed about, that men adore. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about these traits. Why is it that some women men don't really care for, and other women men so obsessed with them? They're crazy about them, they adore them. So if you want a mediocre relationship, you don't care whether a man is into you or not, then this video might not be for you. But if you are really want to feel more adored, more loved, more relaxed and secure in a relationship, and this video is for you, because today I want to talk to you like your sister. I want to tell you the truth that I have observed, the truths that I have observed in my personal life, in my professional life. I have worked with hundreds and even thousands of men and women, so I know men's psychology, I know women's psychology, so I can share with you from both perspectives. And these traits, more importantly, how can you cultivate them? And when you show up with some of these traits, how the men would feel. So I would explain that too, because these traits do not only work for short term, but also in long-term relationships and marriage. So you don't have to change who you are. See if you can pick any of these traits and see if you can develop them better. Now, I'm blind, so I have a braille here. So this is my notes. So you're gonna see my hands disappear sometime because I'm gonna check my notes and see whether I have covered everything. Okay, so let's get started. Number 1. I know you're not gonna like to hear this, especially my counselor's friend. But like it or not, appearance and look is important to men. Yes, that's right. Because men love with their eyes. So when you look good, short term or long term, it arouses them, it interests them, right? Men are attracted to visual things more than women. Okay, so you don't have to be the most beautiful woman. You don't have to be a model or anything like that. But do what you can to be the most beautiful you. Maybe even more beautiful than yesterday or 10 years ago. It's possible. Because I can tell you, I have way more compliments now, older, than I did when I was in my 20s. Okay, so it is possible. And let me explain to you, why is it important? So short term, think of it like this. When a man sees somebody's good looking, he become interested. He puts you in like, I want her circle. Right? This is why do you think that we wanted, women, I don't, women like to do window shopping, or they want to see clothes, right? You see a beautiful top or dress, then you want to try on, right? You see something that you can imagine, oh, I would look good in that, then you try on. You don't just try on any piece of clothing, right? Same thing as jewelry. So also us women, we like, I know you guys women, you like to look at beautiful women, so let alone men, right? So when you take good care of your look, it increases that chance that he's interested in you. Okay, now why is it important in long term? Like I said, in long term, when you look good, you look sexy, he's interested in you, he's aroused by you, he's attracted to you. When you go out together, like it or not, he's actually proud to be with you, proud to introduce you to other people. And actually, there's somebody said that how another man judges a man is by looking at how put together his woman is, how good looking his woman is, right? So do what you can to increase your attractiveness. You know, even I, as a blind person, I know, I've known this from very young, that doing what I can to look the best I can helps me in my career, helps me in my social life, and certainly has really helped me in my relationships. But you know what else? When you put on things that you look beautiful and you look sexy, you feel good. It actually increases your confidence. It also tells your men that you have other options, particularly when other men check you out, right? So, and it is a little bit superficial, but it has some very significant meaning in short-term and long-term relationship. It also tells other people that you care about yourself and you respect your body and your appearance. Okay? So, like I said, you don't have to be the most beautiful woman. You just have to be as beautiful as you can make yourself to be. So, if you're not happy with something about your appearance, either do something to change it. Like say if you are overweight, if you feel subconscious about your belly, do something about it, right? So when I do things, when I go to the gym, I feel good. I feel more toned and slim. Or when I use good skincare and I touch my face and it feels smooth, right? I liked it. And so do what you can to be more beautiful you. That's it. And it's the confidence in that, it's the good energy in that. That's what makes attractive. Okay? So not the most beautiful woman, but most beautiful you that you can be. Okay? So number 2, related to that is confidence. I'm not talking about being arrogant. I'm not talking about being cold, like I'm above you. Not like that. Not that kind of confidence, but a kind of like warm, quiet confidence. You know what you want and you know what you don't want in a relationship. So even though being blind and in my dating, at that time I was a student, or the beginning of my career, so I didn't have a lot of success in my career yet, and there were other things that I wasn't confident yet. But fortunately for me, from a young age, I've always been more confident in my dating, in terms of like what man I'm not willing to go out second date with, or what man I'm not going to put up with, or what am I really looking for, or being able to set boundaries, or being able to express my needs, share my opinions and ideas, right? So when you're confident, not only are you able to be true to yourself, you also make the man feel interested in you. He feels a sense of challenge, positive challenge when he's around you. Right? There's something very, very sexy about it. And it can really go a long way, right? So look can attract a person initially, but it's the confidence that keeps things spicy and interesting. When you're confident, men value you more. He respects you more. He admires you even. Right? If you're not confident, ask yourself, what can I change? What can I work on? Maybe my appearance. Maybe my intellect, learn, grow. Maybe my social confidence, right? Learn skills. No one is born confident. That's the thing, right? We become confident because we practice over and over and over again, or because we learn skills, or we increase knowledge, right? So when you increase knowledge, when you learn skills, when you allow yourself to grow in different areas, you become more confident. You allow yourself to be independent. You're not putting him on your pedestal, right? That's confidence. And believe it or not, when you're more confident, he's more into you. Okay? So number 3, feminine energy. So what does it really mean? A woman who is obsessed by the man, usually they are feminine. They able to tap into the feminine energy. So what does it look like, feel like? So their voice would be softer, slower, but unintentionally. Not like, hey, how are you? Not like that, right? But, I would really love for you to text me more often. Or, you know what? I really appreciate when you just hold my hand when I'm upset. Something like that, right? So a woman with feminine energy, she would be calmer, softer, slower, more intentional. She would ask for help. Would you mind doing that for me? So I always ask for help from my husband. That's why he's get really involved in things. And being hyper independent is actually not very good for women. Independence is really good, sexy, attractive, but hyper independence is like, I don't need you. You can't help me. I do everything myself. Over time, it makes women exhausted and tired, right? So ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's how he learns to care for you. He learns to love you. And then learn to receive. A lot of women, they define their worth, their value on how much they can give, but yet learning to receive increases your worth, tells him that you are worthy. So I really encourage you to do that. Also, be more appreciative. So when he does something nice, say, oh, that's really nice of you. Or, I really appreciate that. Tell him why. Well, because it makes me feel safe. It makes me feel cared for. It makes me feel relaxed. It makes me feel loved. Whatever that might be. Right? So tap into your feminine energy. Another part of that is learn to trust, not control everything. Right? Tell him, I trust that you can do that. I believe in you. And follow up with that. Right? Let him take charge in some ways. Not control, not nag, because that's very masculine energy. And also not overreactive or not being reactive. So reactive is like, why did you do that? I can't stand that you do that, or I can't believe that you do that. How could you do that to me? Right? So when you do that, you are in masculine energy. When you are being controlling, you are in masculine energy. And what that does to a man is it puts him in a more feminine energy. So when men are more in feminine energy, he's passive, he's not doing much for you, he's afraid to take charge, or afraid to do things for you, because you're going to criticize him, you're going to nag him, you're going to blame him, right? And so when you're in more feminine energy, you kind of like step back. That means he has room to step forward, to invest in you more. Okay? And in terms, why is this important? It makes him feel like he's your hero. It makes him feel empowered, which then motivates him to do more for you, to be more invested in the relationship. Also, it makes him want to give to you, want to protect you, provide for you. And this allows him to adore you more. So, starting today, learn to ask for help, to invite. I would love to go for a walk with you today. Would you like to come along? Right? Or I would love for us to go learn salsa dancing. Is that something you would like to do with me? Right? So being more inviting, allow him to come to you, allow him to do things for you, right? So learn to receive and show appreciation and trust more, because often he does something and you kind of roll your eyes like, that's not good enough, right? So the message he gets is, don't do it. Whereas even if it's not perfect, you're like, wow, I really appreciate the effort. Right? So show appreciation more. Be softer, be slower, be calmer. Number 4, have a life outside of the relationship. Okay, make sure to still have friends, have an active social life, or develop some hobbies, some interests, and have some purpose, or be passionate about something. It might be something quirky. It doesn't matter, right? So lots of women, before they met a guy, or when they first met him, they had friends. They would be going out. They passionate about things, maybe yoga, go to the gym to look good, like such positive energy. That's why he was attracted to them in the first place. And then after being together for a while, particularly in a marriage, women start to slack off. They no longer go to the gym. They eat whatever they want, so they put on some more weight. Some women even prioritize their men over the friends, so they start to lose some friendships. They homebody perhaps. They not social anymore, not fun anymore, right? And so when you have a life, when you have a purpose or some kind of passion, it makes you very interesting, sexy, and exciting for him to talk to you, to be exposed to that. Also, it kind of gives you like a zest for life. And that's one thing that I'm very conscious about in my marriage. You know, even though we have a pretty close relationship, we do things together, like we go to the gym, we go for walks, but I make sure I have friends. I like to go to different events. I go to the gym to help me be healthy and be fit and look good, right? I go for walks. I do YouTube. I focus on my career. So just have a rich life. So if you notice that you are kind of like feeling bored in your life, that's probably a sign that you might be becoming boring. And that can zap a lot of desire and interest in a man. So do yourself a favor, get back to some of the things that you were passionate about. Go see your friends, try something new, do something different. And the bonus is you feel good about yourself, you feel proud, you also feel like you're growing, right? So don't rob yourself of that opportunity. Have a life outside the relationship. And number 5 is women who have self-love, women who have self-obsession towards themselves. How other people love you, treat you, reflects on how you love and treat yourself, right? So often we are, particularly in Asian cultures, we are really afraid of being thought of as selfish. But actually, when you focus on yourself, you show him that you not put him on the pedestal, but you also tell him that you care for yourself, you love and respect yourself. There are things that I do for my body. Like I said, I go to the gym. I enjoy wearing clothes that I feel good in, that's suitable for my body. I like to touch the curves of my body, or use skincare that when I touch my face, it feels nice and smooth. Things like that, right? Or I love to read. I love to listen to videos to help me grow. So prioritize yourself. When you prioritize yourself, your men and other people begin to prioritize you. So really love yourself and take good care of yourself. If you feel like you need something, ask for it. Speak up. Like, as a blind person, I have a lot of needs. So who I'm with, I would make sure to tell them, this is what I would need. It would be really helpful for me if you do that for me. Or it means a lot to me when you do that for me, right? So when you love yourself, you're able to ask for what's important to you. You're able to speak your needs. You're able to set boundaries. That's another thing, right? And so when you do that, you help people learn how to be with you. So today, start to do things that make you happy. Start to do things that tell people that you care about yourself. You prioritize yourself. I always think of this. It's like a candle, right? When that candle is lit, then you're able to use that candle to light other people's candles, right? So light up your inner candle. Take care of your inner child. Keep yourself lit up, keep your inner light strong. Okay, so number 6 is women that men who are obsessed with are women who are able to have intellectual and emotional connection with a man. Okay, so intellectual connection is showing interest in what he has to say, what he's doing, showing interest in his interests. So ask open-ended questions like, what interests you about that? What makes it interesting to you? Like, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that? What are your opinions? Why are you interested in that? Or why do you think that way? What are some of the reasons, right? So a lot of what and why and how. Also share your ideas. Some women are afraid to talk to men. Some women are even afraid to share their ideas because they're afraid of being judged, right? But when you actually share your ideas, it tells him that you can kind of be true to yourself. You have the confidence to speak your ideas and your opinions, right? And it's very exciting for him. It gives him a sense of challenge. Intellectual conversations are very welcomed by men, and it allows him to understand you better, and it can be fun, right? Also learn to agree to disagree. So when he talks about something that kind of quite out there, maybe you feel a little bit like, oh really, right? Try not to judge him. Like, oh, okay, tell me what made you think like that, or tell me more about that. You have a very strong opinion about it, so tell me more about it, right? Wow, that makes sense. I can see why you think that way. So that you validate him, right? So validate and listen, active listening, right? So when you listen, pay attention and ask follow-up questions. Oh, okay. So what do you mean by that? What makes you think that way? Right? That's very important. Now, in emotional connection is another level. Now, often we are afraid to ask men how they feel. You don't have to have like a therapy session with a man, like get him to tell you the deepest, darkest secrets right away or ever, right? But you can slowly and calmly ask things like, oh, how do you feel about that? Or I can imagine that you might feel frustrated or judged by that. Is that right? Right? When you ask him how he feels about that, it helps him to start to be more aware of his emotions. How you feel about that, but then you just leave him space to tell you. Right? You don't keep poking him. Ask a simple question and then wait, let him talk. Okay? Also, share with him your feelings. I felt happy when you did that. I felt really proud seeing you making an effort in that. Or I feel hurt when you did that. Or it makes me feel sad that you didn't show up on time yesterday that you promised you would. Right? So share with him your feelings. Share with him some of your experiences, like childhood experiences and your feelings around it. So when you share feelings, it tells him that he is safe to share feelings with you, to share things with you. So when you share feelings, it makes him feel safe. It allows him to be more open it allows him to be more receptive to what you are sharing. It makes him feel more connected to you. So really work on, talking to men, asking questions, sharing your feelings, your opinions, asking him about those, right? So work on that, because that's how bonding occurs. That's how he can feel more connected to you. Okay, number 7, playfulness. Oh my goodness, this is very important for men, because often men are expected to be responsible, they're expected to be masculine, they're expected to solve problems and do things and be strong. And so when you're playful, it allows him to be playful. It allows him to kind of bring out that inner child in him, right? But also it allows you to bring out your inner child as well. Inner child is not always about sad and hurt and abandoned, So laugh with him, flirt with him, tease him, have a sense of humor. It's super, super bonding and it's super fun. Sometimes women take things too seriously. They have heavy conversations with men, or too much feelings. Like I said earlier, feelings are good, but if your conversations are always about feelings, or you upset, or you pouty, or you critical and blaming, it can be just too much. It's like eating fast food and you feel sick afterwards, or eating a lot of sugar and you feel sick, right? So try to be more lighthearted. And also sometimes when you say something that's not pleasant, or set some boundaries, if you can be a little bit lighthearted, like, hey, that wasn't cool when you did that, I don't know if I like that, or that's a little bit naughty to me, I don't like that. Right? So obviously there's a place and a time for everything. Sometimes when you set boundaries, you got to be serious for him to take you seriously. But other times, maybe he didn't mean to, right? And so be a little bit lighthearted so that he doesn't feel like he's in trouble, or you judge him, you put him in his place, right? That's not a good feeling. So be a bit more playful. And when you laugh, something about a woman's laugh is very sexy and arousing to a man. Often I remember when I used to date online, right? I just have a normal conversation, but I was laughing and having fun. I turned them on without even meaning to. So when you laugh, it can be very sexy, and it helps them to have fun with you. So it's like it releases things like dopamine and endorphins in them, oxytocin, things like that. So make sure, there's a saying that men don't fall for you as much as you think, but they fall for how you make them feel. So if you can give them a wide range of emotions being with you, it's super attractive to a man. So when you're being playful, then the feeling is exciting, playfulness, sexy maybe, right? When you're being serious, you have serious emotional conversations. He feels safe, he feels super deep and connected. When you have an intellectual conversation, or intellectual conversations with him, he feels stimulated, he feels challenged. When you see that you're confident, you set boundaries with him, he feels challenged, he feels engaged, and right? So different kinds of emotions. And when you look good and beautiful, he feels like he's sexually attracted to you, or he feels proud, right? So different kinds of emotion makes it exciting to be with you. Okay, number 8, being present. Women are often in the head, being anxious, being upset, right? And men are also in the heads too. So when you are present, what happens is that you calm his nervous system. You send a signal to his nervous system, his brain, that it is safe. And the person feels important. they feel cared for. They feel, it helps them to be more present. So if you often complain like that he's not present with you, ask yourself, am I present with him? Or am I too much in my anxious complaining mode? Or am I too much in my head? Or I think too much about the future? Or I'm already thinking about the past and being upset by it, right? Be in the moment. Be present with him. It will help him to feel safe and important. It will help him to bond and feel connected to you. And it allows you to be in your body, right? So when you are in your body, it also helps him to be in his body so that he's not in his head, busy thinking about the next thing he needs to do, busy thinking about his work, right? Sometimes touch can help you and him to be present with each other, right? Or letting him know, hey, I noticed that, right? So when you say you notice, that means you're present. That's how you're noticing things. Okay? Number 9. Oh my goodness. This one is so important for men, particularly in long-term relationship. Emotional control. And I don't mean being controlling to a guy, but emotional control and emotional regulation. Okay, so the problem is often, and I am guilty of this too at times, women, we overreact, we become angry, like, why did you do that? Right? So then they feel attacked. So what do? They would attack you back, or they would shut down. Over time, they're scared of you. Or some women would be so emotional. How could you do this to me? They start to cry. How could you do this to me? You hurt me. You broke my heart. Oh my goodness, too much emotion. And so particularly if you have an avoidant man, oh, he's going to shut down. He's going to run away. He's going to associate you with lack of safety. Emotional basket case. And when you have a lot of emotions and a lot of reactions, you actually give power to another person. Even when you are angry and you think that you get him to do things, you think you are controlling him, but you actually giving power away, because he knows that, if I do this, she's going to be angry. If I do this, she's going to be pouty, right? So when you are emotionally regulated, what happened is a man would feel safe. He would respect you. He would be more open to you. He would be more receptive to what you say. So if you make a calm request, hey, I need to do a video today. Would you mind kind of going away so that it's nice and quiet around here? Right? So if I say calmly like that, then he would be happy to do it. If I say, hey, I'm doing a video today, so just don't do that, okay? Don't stay around. Just go away. Go away. Right? That's not calm. Also, when you are regulated, like I said, it affects his nervous system. It takes him out of his fight, flight, freeze response. And this is why I am usually very effective in talking and working with men. And even in my personal life with friends, male friends and all that, or relatives, because I would talk more calmly. I would use logic, to appeal to them. I would use emotions too, but it depends on the context. But I would start with logic, right? So when you are emotionally regulated, you're able to see things more logically, right? Your frontal lobe would be on board and engaged. Frontal lobe is responsible for logic, right? And when you do that, it helps his frontal lobe to be engaged as well. And it makes him feel safer to be then in touch with more positive emotions like love, appreciation towards you, adoration towards you, respect towards you, admiration towards you even. Right? So do what you can, do some healing. Reach out to me for therapy or coaching to work on emotional regulation. It's not as hard as you think. Like when I do EMDR and hypnotherapy for people, it really helps them to be calm, helps the brain to be calm, helps the nervous system to be safer, more parasympathetic, right? So parasympathetic is when you are relaxed, you have fun, or you laugh, right now I'm in my parasympathetic, right? I'm happy to talk to you, I'm excited to share things with you. Maybe when I was setting up the video, I might be in my sympathetic nervous system, right? So when you are emotionally dysregulated, you are in super sympathetic nervous system mode. You are either in fight, you want to fight, angry, or you flight, you want to run away, you're scared, or you freeze, you don't know what to do, you just feel frozen. So work on that, because it can go a long way in your relationship with men, in your relationship with women, in your relationships with your friends, with coworkers. Now, often some women are super emotionally regulated in their career. They can do things, no problem. They're very logical, they're very rational, right? But then in their relationship, so in the romantic relationship, that's a place where women get triggered easily. So really work on that, okay? Now, number 10. Now, I can hear some of my Asian people may not like this. Sexuality and sensuality, so important to a man. We have, especially in Asian cultures or growing up as a Catholic, we have a lot of ideas, bad ideas about sex. Sex is dirty, sex is bad. Men who like sex are pigs, or men only like, if you are too sexual, then you are a cheap girl. Oh my goodness, all kinds of things. So a lot of women have sexual hang-ups about sex. And believe it or not, like it or not, sexual connection is a very powerful way for men to be connected to you physically and emotionally. It's one of their biggest love language. I'm not talking about casual sex. I'm not talking about have sex as soon as you can when you meet a man. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sex with a man who already shows you interest, commitment, who shows you love, who shows you adoration, who shows you good things, right? Then maintaining a strong sexual connection, so important. But also, as a woman, do you know that when you have regular sexual connection, it makes you as a woman feel alive. Some studies have even shown that semen from a man actually benefits women. I have to look up how it benefits women, but I remember hearing about that the other day. It makes you feel alive. It makes you younger. Right? Women who enjoy sex often and they feel satisfied in their sex life, they look younger, more youthful. It helps you to be more in touch with your body, because often women are so busy thinking about other people, doing things for other people, so busy in their heads, right? So they kind of feel disconnected with to the body, particularly those who have sexual traumas, right? So, and for a man, when he has sexual connection with you, he feels masculine, he feels desired, he feels wanted, loved. Yeah, so it's very important for men. When you reject a man sexually, he feels a deep sense of rejection, he feels emasculated. So it affects men a lot more than you think. It's not just sex. And when you are sensual, right? When you're sensual, It allows a man to be more in touch with their own bodies. It makes him feel connected to you. It makes him desire you more, adores you more. So if you have a lot of sexual hang-ups, reach out to me. I can help you around that. To let go of some of your sexual beliefs about sex and sexuality, to let go of some of the sexual hang-ups you may have learned from your religion, from society, from your culture. Maybe you were hurt sexually in the past, in childhood, or you were sexually abused in childhood or in your relationships in the past, right? And you may have brought some of that baggage into your current relationship. I would say do yourself a favor and do him a favor and learn to embrace your sexuality. Learn to be sensual, right? So learn about your body, what turns you on, what arouses you, and share that with him, right? But you got to know yourself first, right? Be sensual. Maybe wear the clothes that make you feel sexy. Maybe, right? Learn to take care of your body, like put on lotion on your body. Do something to help your hair feel softer. Wear lingerie that you feel sexy in, whatever that might be. Okay? So those are the 10 traits that when women develop, some of them or most of them, they really get men to adore them, to love them, to be obsessed about them. So ask yourself today, which of these traits that you want to make small changes, maybe big changes, to develop them or to bring them out in you more. Because no woman is born beautiful. No woman is born to be the best that she can be, right? And when you feel loved, secure, you know with certainty that your man loves you, adores you. It makes you feel really good. It makes you relax. It allows you to enjoy other parts of your life more. It makes you feel empowered. It makes you feel confident. And that confidence spreads to other areas of your life. So, do what you can today to be as attractive, beautiful as you can be. Okay, so talk to you next time. Bye-bye.